This is a really confusing and scary time with a lot of changes happening so fast, a lot of questions, of course, and worries about the economy, plus health and safety. You know, it's hard for us adults, but it's especially hard on children. So joining me to talk more about that is Rosanna Sanchez, a licensed professional counselor from Children's Health. Thank you so much for your time.
Good morning, Sonia. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so I'm just curious, first of all, like, what has it been like right now? What have you seen? What are the conversations you've had? What are children really absorbing and what are they worried about?
There's definitely been an increase in anxiety and depressive symptoms in the patients I serve. They're struggling with the changes in their dynamic at home and at school. Obviously, day-to-day activities have changed a lot. So there's a lot of worry as to what it'll look like once this is over. How am I doing grade-wise? Because their classes are now happening at home and they're needing that extra help with their schoolwork. Parents are having to work, and so they don't get that help as much. And the emotional and stress and mental health challenges are not getting acknowledged as much. We just have to tuck it in sometimes and pretend it's not happening, but it's really important to be aware and understand and see those signs and symptoms.
So how young are children like really being impacted by this? Like at what age do they sense, hey, something's going on, or this feels odd or uncomfortable? And what do you do for those little ones?
That's a good question. For the little ones, obviously, if they were going to preschool or daycare and now they're having to stay at home, they can already sense that something's happening or changing. I always encourage parents to limit the news that are playing in the household, because little ones can also be exposed to those news and listen and get more stressed and worried. So it starts from age 1. If they've been in the household and then they have a nanny and parents are now there all the time when they weren't, they can already sense there's something going on that's different and changing in the world. And so teenagers are struggling too. All kinds of ages can, struggle, but I noticed it happening a lot with kids that there's schools happening at home. And I feel that one of the best things that people can do is keep a structure and try to keep organized chart of what's going to happen during the day, that day, and kind of plan it together as a family, not just parents sit down and do it on their own, but talk about it. What do we all want to do? How are we going to implement our schedule for schoolwork and activities and game night and family time, and also self-care, because everybody needs their own individual time sometimes.
And so that probably sounds overwhelming to parents, like, oh great, here's another thing I have to do, organize. But is that something that you guys could help with as well? Like, can they contact you and then y'all sit down, have a little powwow and go, okay, here's the plan?
Yes, absolutely. So counselors in the area, even the school counselors, can assist with what does this look like in each home, because every home is different and it could be unrealistic in some homes. And one of the first things I say when parents start feeling overwhelmed, because I did too when I started to have to organize and have a structure in my home, a routine that was very different from what it looked like before, is definitely know that it's not going to look perfect. It's not going to be what it says on the chart that's going to happen. So it's okay. Give yourself some care and kindness if it doesn't work out. There's going to be turbulence. So definitely reach out to those professionals in your area, school counselors, anybody that you can talk, or other parents that can help you and manage those routines and schedules and change them up if you need to. It's okay.
Yeah, a lesson in patience, going with the flow, and certainly asking for help when you need it. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. If you guys have more questions, I'll link you guys to the folks over at Children's Health, especially those parents of teenagers, because I know that as we creep up in age and we talk about adolescence, we tend to see a rise in depression, anxiety, fear certainly, and these suicidal thoughts that we've been talking about really for years and years at this point. So thank you to all the great folks at Children's Health, and you guys stay safe.
Thank you for having us.